Hello friends, today is January 13th, 2026. Let's dive into fresh gaming news with some game producers' perspectives. To kick things off, Marvel's Blade is apparently not dead. It's been quite some time since we've heard anything about a new game from Arkane Studios in the Marvel universe. But it looks like because the team was so hard at work. Recently, one of the fans tagged Arkane Studios for an update as a Christmas wish, and they got it. Studio co-creative director of Arkane decided to respond via X with a small update, ensuring the fans that the game is not dead. They said, "The team is hard at work, everyone is super proud and outdoing themselves. Please be patient, it will be a special game and we all hope it will be meeting the high standards that we set for ourselves and for you." While this is not much, after so many layoffs in recent years and project cancellations, it is natural for people to be worried. At least now we know that the game is still being developed. One thing worth noting is the expectations for this project, as they are sky high. After the Redfall fiasco, it's a miracle that the studio managed to avoid major layoffs while Xbox was shutting things left and right. Well, aside from the Arkane Austin, that is. So, besides just making a good game that sells well, they have to come up with something extraordinary, mostly to make up for all the scrutiny around the previous title. It won't be enough for it to sell fine, it has to win big, or that might be the end of Arkane. Are you looking forward to Marvel's Blade? Next, let's talk about RAM prices a little more. We've talked some time ago about RAM price surging and companies like Micron opting for support of AI companies. And according to recent reports, there are more ramifications of shortages than just hardware being expensive. Per Insider Gaming, the whole industry is very concerned with the scarcity of RAM, which might even impact the next generation of consoles. That's aside from the industry feeling the impact on the current generation. There are a lot of high-level talks right now about how to mitigate this impact, but the bottleneck is becoming bigger and bigger. But since no major console manufacturers have officially revealed anything new, this whole thing might mean that it will be a while before they do. From what I could tell, this could go a couple of different ways. The most likely scenario is that we'll see an increase in the current generation support and the lower volumes of production for the next generation, with potentially extended life cycle optimization. And of course, because of all the prices that most likely will continue to grow, the new hardware will be substantially more expensive. So we might be stuck with the current platforms for a while. At least until AI companies have enough data centers to satisfy themselves. In other interesting news, Ubisoft got hacked recently, which resulted in the company shutting down servers for Rainbow Six Siege. At the end of 2025, while everybody was celebrating, a huge number of players started seeing some weird stuff in the game. They were reporting a huge amount of currency being received, item packs, and even receiving unexpected bans, later reversed. The issue affected everyone, including major content creators and internal Ubisoft accounts. The company immediately began investigating the issue that led to the game being shut down completely. It took about a day to resolve it, with the game team issuing a revert of all transactions and bans while the fix was underway. Unfortunately, Ubisoft didn't share any details as to what exactly happened, whether it was a malicious act from some hacker group or something, or it was just an exploit that they were patching. If nothing else, to deal with a big issue like this in a day is quite impressive. I don't praise Ubisoft very often, but they surely handled the situation very professionally. Also, quick thing, if you don't know who I am, my name is Alex, I'm a game producer and I'm here to help you get caught up on everything that's going on in the video game industry. Moving on to Bioshock 4. It's been more than 10 years since the release of the last mainline game of Bioshock, with 2K having some major issues with the next one. But according to recent leaks, we now know a little more. Per the report from MP First, the outlet recently uncovered some previously unknown details about the project, as well as some new screenshots. These details included first look at the setting, environment, characters, and locations. For example, the whole game seems to be taking place in 1960s Antarctic city called Borealis. The outlet shared at least one location that will be part of the city, a casino. And there are references to a class named Male Flusher, which they speculate is a type of enemy similar to splicers. But these are all leaks, so treat them with a grain of salt. While it's all well and good, the game was and probably still is in development hell. Last year, the game failed an internal review and the team had to go back to the drawing board. And these crumbs of information, however true they are, do not offer a lot of confidence. The upside is that Take-Two CEO already told us that this game is happening one way or another. At least that's good sign, right? So we'll just have to wait for some concrete information to put our minds at ease. With CDPR being hard at work on The Witcher 4, another bunch of speculations recently surfaced. They are suggesting that before we see the new game, we'll see a new DLC for The Witcher 3. That's at least according to GameRant and an analyst at Noble Securities. The DLC will cost around $30 and will be released sometime in 2026. And this release will kickstart the marketing efforts for the new game. While this information hasn't been confirmed by anyone else, it kind of makes sense to me. Since the new game will feature Ciri as the main protagonist and a full-fledged Witcher, it makes sense to reveal how it happened in the first place, before we dive straight into action of Witcher 4. What do you think about a potential Witcher 3 DLC? Now let's talk more about Divinity. After the announcement of their new project, some people were concerned that they had to replay all the previous Divinity games to catch up. But according to the company, there is no need to worry. During an interview with Games Radar Plus, Larian founder shared that there is no need to play older games, as they are a bit outdated. To be exact, he said that you could play them, but only if you're interested in the lore and what happened to the world before this game, similarly to Baldur's Gate 3. And only if you want to know everything. Otherwise, he said that you shouldn't bother, as they are quite old. And speaking of upcoming big games, several members of Bethesda Game Studios leadership team spoke about Fallout 5 and the future of this game. And it is ambitious, to say the least. According to Game Informer, studio design director shared that their goal with this game is to have something that you could play for 600 hours. To quote him, "I would be happy with a game that is as successful as the previous Fallout games that continues to give fans what they love, you know? And to give them a story that they can get into and systems that they love, and really just an experience that they play not for 20 hours and not for 100 hours, but for 600 hours. Because that's the kind of games we make. That would be my hope going forward." And I mean, wow, that is quite a lot of hours. It will be interesting to see if those are just words, or it will actually have enough content to sustain so much playtime. That's all I have for you today, folks. As usual, if you want to know more, all links are in the description. And of course, clicking the like button helps this channel and brings you more and more interesting news each week. Subscribe if you are new, as I put out new videos every week. Thank you for making it this far. Have a great rest of the day, and that's Alex signing off for now. Cheers!